What's going on YouTube? So you guys may have known that probably about 5, 6, I don't know, 7, 8 months ago, I made a video about a budget-friendly concealed carry option for those of us that are looking for a single stack concealed carry weapon that isn't going to break the bank. And before I show you this, I'm going to let you know these weapons are unloaded. They've all been safety checked. That topic of discussion back then was the Taurus PT709. I'm still very impressed with this gun today. Haven't had any issues with it. Overall, a great budget gun. So when you get a budget gun, you're going to conceal carry. What's the next thing you want? You want a holster. So I went holster shopping, and I really didn't feel like spending 60, 70, even 80 bucks for a concealed carry holster on a budget concealed carry weapon. I mean, some of these holsters were like a third of the price of the Taurus PT709 I just picked up. So I was on a search, and I wanted to find something that was budget friendly, something that wouldn't break the bank, but something that wouldn't sacrifice quality at the same time. So what I came up with is I came up with 3 holsters that I found over these past few months. I want to showcase these to you real fast. So the first one I have is the Tec Holster. Happened to stumble across these guys on Etsy. It's just your standard Kydex holster. I mean, nothing crazy durable, just pretty standard when it comes to Kydex. This holster was $30 and the shipping was free. I thought that was awesome. That got me really excited about this. $30 and shipping was free. So I went ahead and I placed the order on a Thursday in the morning. Well, 18 hours after I submitted that order on Thursday, I got an email 18 hours later saying that the item had been shipped. I was like, wow, great. That was pretty quick. I was even more surprised when the holster showed up to my door on Monday. So it took 3 days for me to get this holster. I was thrilled. I really liked that. I was really amazed by how quick they had it shipped out and how quick it was in my hands. It was really nice. So when you buy this holster, there's a couple of things you should know. You have a couple of options. You have an option on the size of the belt clip. This is a 1 3/4 inch belt clip. Your other option is going to be 1.5 inches. This is cant adjustable. So right now I have it at the 15-degree setting. However, I could adjust it to a 0-degree setting, which is something you don't find with a lot of these budget holsters. A lot of them you can't adjust the cant. It fits very snug when it comes to the PT709. So here you have your PT709, your Tec Holster, and you hear that nice click. It's in there really good. When I first got it, it was a little bit tight. So I put it on, I went to draw the weapon, and it was definitely resisting. However, you can, adjust the retention with this retention screw right here substantially, and I mean, it's still in there pretty dang good. It's not going to go anywhere for, the uses that I have this weapon for. So overall, I don't have any huge complaints other than I wrote a review and I told them, I said, man, I think your clip could use a little bit of work. The clip isn't super flimsy, but it's not. Out of these 3 holsters that I'm showcasing today, this clip is my least favorite. It's not as high quality as the other ones. However, with all that being said, for $30 shipped, this is a great option, a very great option. And like I said, this is the only one of the holsters that I'm showing today that's going to be cant adjustable. So that is by Tec on Etsy. They're a fairly new company. They've only been in business for a few months. However, from what I've seen, people have given them pretty good reviews, and I gave them 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was a very good holster. The only thing I said I think they could use some work on is their clip. The next holster I bought, which was pretty close to the same time, was the Just Holster It holster. It's really nice, and it's carbon fiber too. Some people like carbon fiber, some don't. I'm not the biggest fan, but my wife really likes it. She really likes the carbon fiber, and she'll carry a PT709 off and on as well. So this is made by Just Holster It. The cost for this holster is $33.50 as it comes, carbon fiber, and shipping is $3.71. So you're looking at roughly 37 bucks to $38 for this holster. However, it is a nice holster. The clip is much sturdier than the Forge Tech, which I do like. However, there are a couple of negative things I have to say about this holster. I haven't rated this yet on their website, even though most people give them very good reviews. So they have um, over 403 reviews, and the average rating is 4.8 out of 5 stars. So people really like these holsters. So I don't want me bagging on it to make it sound like this isn't a good holster, because I do think it is a good holster, but there's a couple of things in my personal preferences that I'm just not a big fan of. One is I like when you holster a weapon, I like hearing with the Kydex the audible click. This one, there's no audible click. I mean, for me, like I said, it's personal preference. Some people really won't care, but I like being able to hear that click when I holster my weapon. I like knowing that it's fully holstered, that I have it in there all the way. But this one, nothing. Compared to the one I just showed you, made by Forge Tech, definitely an audible difference. So one thing I don't like is that you can't really hear it click. The other thing I'm not the biggest fan of is how high it sits outside of the waist. So as you can see, the clip ends right here. So you have all of this sticking outside of your waistband. That's a good 3.5 inches, maybe even 4 inches. That's a lot hanging out of your waistband. For me, another thing I don't like is it doesn't have, at least one side of the Kydex coming up almost like a shirt guard, whereas this one, it comes way up. It's kind of like almost is, a protection so it doesn't rub against your skin or anything like that. And then my only other complaint, and I think I'm probably one of the only ones that had this issue, is when I took this holster out of the box, it had a couple of little dings on it. A couple little scuff marks. And yeah, I realize, I'm not showing this off. This isn't going to be something that I'm going to put on my dashboard or, like let the whole world see. But it's just nice knowing that, this was taken care of before it was shipped out and it was taken care of when it was shipped. So, I mean, there were a few dings that I noticed, a few scuff marks. But, I mean, all in all, this is a good holster. The retention is great on it. The retention is, I'd say the retention is a little bit better than the Forge Tech. This came out of the box ready to go. They had a whole checklist of things. So before they ship this holster to you, they actually have a technician go through it, and they send you the checklist that they go through. So they go through, are these edges rounded off? How is the retention? Are the screws tightened down? They go through all these different checklists to ensure that this is ready to go out of the box, which I really liked. So I took this out of the box and ready to go. The retention, it stays in there a lot better and it comes out a lot easier when I have that outward force pulling out. I really like this holster. There's a few things that don't mesh with my personal preferences, but that doesn't mean this isn't a good holster. So that was the holster by Just Holster It. So for this third holster, I just want to say that before I was even looking at these other two holsters, I thought I knew which holster I was going to buy. And it's called Concealment Express. I bought a holster for them before for my XD subcompact. I bought it off Amazon. And this holster I just love. This is Concealment Express. Really, really nice holsters. So I couldn't find a holster for them on Amazon for the PT709. So I messaged them on Facebook. I said, hey, I'm in the market for a PT709 holster. Do you have any? They said, we do not have any right now. However, he did say that within the very near future, they are planning on coming out with a PT709 holster from Concealment Express. So like I said, this is what the Concealment Express looks like on my XD subcompact. As you can tell, it's very well done. I like how they have the shirt guard. I do like, this is probably the best clip out of all these. That clip is sturdy. It's durable. I don't really think I have to worry about this loosening up on me or slipping. I can clip this in my basketball shorts. Like if I go walk the dog at night, I can clip this in my basketball shorts and I can still draw it out just fine. This is a killer clip. However, the cant is not adjustable. So that is one minor complaint on this holster, is that I can't adjust the cant. However, I did get it in a forward cant, about 15 degrees, so I mean, I can't complain. That's how I normally carry it anyways. But if I ever wanted that option to maybe turn it to a 0 degree cant, that's the only holster that has that available would be the Forge Tech holster. Um, so this holster right here runs $34.95 on Amazon, and if you're one of the Prime members, you get free shipping. It also comes in a carbon fiber color. This is just the standard black, but it also comes in a carbon fiber color for $5 more, and that also has free shipping. So, I mean, this one has that audible click as well. Not as much so as the Forge Tech, but you can still hear it just fine. Um, Honestly, guys, if I was to pick a favorite holster, I really wouldn't know which one I would choose. I mean, obviously, right now, the two that are on the market would be Forge Tech and Just Holster It, but keep your eyes out for this Concealment Express. They make some really good stuff. So I hope, this might have opened your eyes on some budget holsters and some options for you and your PT709. I've had a lot of success with these holsters. I really enjoy them. I carry both of them. They're very nice. So if anything, do your own research on the company. If there's any questions you have for me, let me know because I've been using these holsters now for about a month or so. Um, but that's the video. I hope that you can find a good for your PT709. Like I said, man, if you have any questions, let me know. Please like the video below. Thanks, guys.